welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, welcome. Today I am going to be doing a video that is very special to me. Today when this is uploading, it is me and my husband's 5-year wedding anniversary, which is so crazy. I can't believe how fast 5 years has just flown by. So much has changed in the last 5 years since we have got married, and honestly, one of the biggest things that has changed is the way I do my makeup. 5 years ago when we got married, I was first starting to kind of get into makeup, kind of into my makeup artistry career, and also just exploring makeup on myself a bit more. So I did end up doing my own makeup for my wedding day, and although it turned out good and I was happy with it, there is a lot of things that I would do differently, obviously. I'm going to insert some clips and some photos of how my makeup looked 5 years ago. I wasn't quite into the whole like filling in your brow train just yet. And now being a professional makeup artist and doing makeup on hundreds of brides and bridesmaids, there's a lot of things that I have learned throughout the years and things that I would have changed and done differently on myself if I was to do my makeup again for, you know, another kind of big event. So today I'm going to walk you guys through on how I would do my makeup now if I was to walk down the aisle again, or if I could rewind and redo my makeup for my special day. So if you guys want to see how I transformed myself into this beautiful bride inspired look, then just keep watching. So I remember on my big day, I don't really think I was quite into like the whole skin prep yet. Pretty sure I wore Urban Decay Naked Skin for my foundation, which I still really do like. Today I want something a bit more full coverage, maybe a bit more long wearing, and I also would prep my skin a lot better than I used to. So to do that, I'm gonna go in with the Banana Bright primer. Really like this. It just gives me like a really nice natural glow. It makes my skin feel nice and hydrated. Yeah, I honestly don't even know if I used a primer for my big day 5 years ago, but now that's something I would not miss. I think prepping your skin is a huge, huge part of making your makeup last longer, look beautiful, and kind of just bumps it up a little bit, especially for photos and for all day wear. Next, to fill in some of my pores and fine lines, I will go in with some kind of blurring primer, Pore Filler. And one of the primers that I've really been liking for that lately is the Tatcha the Silk Canvas. So I'm just going to take a little bit and just put it in the areas where I tend to have enlarged pores and texture and all that fun stuff. So I went and let my prep kind of sink into my skin. I like to do that so everything can really absorb and sink well into the skin so that nothing's kind of slipping when I go and put on my foundation. Now, moving on to foundation, I do have a few that I kind of go between for kind of more long wearing foundations, but the one tried and true that never does me wrong is the Estee Lauder Double Wear. I absolutely love that foundation. It's a foundation that I use on a lot of my brides. It lasts really well. It is not too matte, but not too dewy either. It's kind of a nice right in the middle. It works with a lot of people's skin tone and skin type, so that is what I'm going to be using today. But for me personally, I do like a bit more of a glow. So to give me that kind of glow from within look, I'm going to be using the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter underneath, and then putting my foundation on top. So I'm just going to take that and apply it mostly on the high points of my face, so my cheeks. Also, say hello to my little friend who wanted to join us for the video. Thanks. Now for foundation, like I said, I'm going in with the Estee Lauder Double Wear, and I'm just using a damp beauty blender to kind of stamp that into my skin. This foundation mixed with that Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood filter is just the perfect little combo. It gives me amazing coverage, great staying power, but that nice little like glow that I like with my foundations. Okay, so there's one quick little thin coat of that foundation. Now I'm going to go in and try and build it up a little bit more to get even more coverage. Alright, so that gave me really good coverage, but my little friend is still poking through, so I'm just going to take the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in the shade Medium 26, similar to my skin tone right now, and I'm just going to do that and kind of spot conceal any blemishes that are still kind of poking through. Now for my concealer, I'm going to go in with the same concealer, but just in a lighter shade. This is the shade Light 14, and I'm just going to apply this underneath my eyes. And I am applying a generous amount just to kind of really help brighten up my under eye area. I'm also going to take a little bit on my chin, down the bridge of my nose, and up onto my forehead just a little bit, just to bring some more light back to my face. And then to contour, I'm going to go in with two of my favorite contouring products, and these are the Smashbox contouring sticks. So I have one in the shade Contour and one in the shade Bronze. Bronze I like to kind of use to warm up the skin, give me a bit more of like a healthy bronze glow. And then Contour I like to use more in like the hollows of my cheeks to really kind of sculpt out those areas. So I'm first going to go in with the Bronze shade, and I'm just going to kind of map out a few areas that I want some more kind of warmth to my skin. And then the contour, I'm just going to kind of sandwich right in between those shades right there. Down the sides of my nose. Under my lip. And then kind of on my jawline as well. For big days like this, I like to do cream contouring and powder contouring on top of each other. I find that it really just kind of sandwiches together and really makes it last even longer. And you really just want to make sure you take your time when it comes to blending. There's nothing worse than having awkward kind of lines on your face, especially on a day that you are getting a lot of photos, a lot of video, a lot of attention. So now that everything is all nice and blended in, I'm gonna go and set my under eyes. This is very important so nothing creases or moves throughout the day. And to do that, I'm using the Jeffree Star Magic Powder. I have been loving this powder. And then I'm also going to set the rest of my face just lightly, especially kind of in my T-zone, just with the Rimmel Stay Matte Pressed Powder, just in the shade Translucent. So now I'm going to go in and bronze even more, and I'm going to use the Fenty Beauty in the Sun bronzer. And then I'm also going to go in with some more contour, and I'm going to use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contouring Kit. I'm going to go in with these two shades right there and kind of mix them together. And I'm just applying that in the exact same place I applied the cream contour. So I'm just going to leave my face like this for now, and then I will come back to blush and highlighter at the end. But now I'm going to focus on the eyes for a minute. 5 years ago for my wedding, I did a very nice basic eye look. I was really into like rose gold kind of copper feels. So that is what I used on my eyelid. I used actually Urban Decay Naked 3 eyeshadow palette. I remember that. But for today, I think I would go a bit more soft and natural. I don't think I will use any shimmers. I'm really into just like very matte nice classic eye look with a really good dramatic lash. So that's personally what I'm into now, so that is what I'm going to do today. And for my eyeshadow, I'm going to go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Sultry palette. It has some really nice, just neutral shades. I don't want anything too warm or too cool, especially for videography and photography. I find it's best just to stick as neutral as possible. So that is what I am going to do today. So first I'm going to go in and take the shade Fresh, which is just a blank white kind of nude cream shade, and I'm just going to apply it all over my eyelid just to make sure that everything is set in place. So once that is all nice and set, I'm gonna go in and take the shade Birch, which is just a nice kind of tan shade, and that's what I'm gonna use all in my crease and blend it up into my brow bone area. I'm gonna zoom you guys on in so you can get a better look. So I'm just going in with a big fluffy brush and applying it on the outer corner of my lid, kind of blending it up towards my eyebrow tail, and then I will blend it up into the crease as well. Next, I'm going to go in with a bit smaller brush and use the shade Twig and apply it on the outer corner in the same kind of area, but just not quite as blown out. I'm just keeping it a bit tighter into the crease and outer corner. I'm going to take the Soft Glam palette and use the shade Rustic. It's just a nice kind of medium tone brown, and just apply it in the exact same spot, just kind of deepening it up a little bit. I'm going in with an even smaller brush and taking that Rustic shade again, and this time just really hugging that lower or that top lash line, and then just kind of bringing it out into that outer V and then crease. But I'm sticking just really nice and tight into my natural crease. So now I'm just taking a little bit of concealer and just doing a really natural little cut crease just on the inner corner to make my eyes nice and bright. Take that first Fresh shade that we used and just apply that all over the concealer we used to do that cut crease. Taking a little bit of that Birch shade and just kind of blending the darker and the lighter shades together so it's not too harsh. Then I'm going to go in with this shade Pearl. It is one of my favorite colors of all time. It's just a really pretty, nice reflective highlight shade, and I'm going to apply that right in the inner tear duct just to give my eyes a little bit of a shimmer and to make them pop just a little bit more. So that is what it's looking like right there. I'm going to go and do the other eye and I will be right back. So I just went and finished up my other eye and I threw on just a little bit of a liner. I just did like a baby wing just to kind of bring out my eyes, but not really to do like a whole cat eye or anything like that. I just wanted to kind of lift the eye and open it up a little bit more. So I just went in with a little tiny baby winged liner, and I used the Sigma Wicked Gel Liner, which is one of my all-time favorite gel liners. It lasts all day long. Next, the part that I am most excited for is lashes. I think on my big day I just wore kind of regular lashes, and honestly back then, 5 years ago, lashes weren't the greatest. I feel like at the drugstore you didn't really have too many options, and like higher end lashes were either like really expensive and you had to order them, or they were kind of like hard to come by, at least where I live. But now if I was, you know, to do my wedding makeup again, I would choose Wink Luxury Lashes, which is actually my brand. So obviously I would wear them for my special day. And the two styles that I'm kind of torn between are the Tiffany's, which look just like this. They're super gorgeous, natural, but still give enough oomph to the eyes. They kind of flare out at the end to give a little bit of like a cat eye look. And then the other option I was torn between was the Kelsey Lash. And they are very full and fluffy, bit more dramatic than the last option. Still kind of have that like cat eye look. I think I'm gonna go with the Kelsey's. I'll give you guys a closer up look. This is what they look like. So while my lashes are drying, I'm just gonna go and pop on a little bit of blush. I'm gonna go in with this Tarte palette right here. As you can tell, it is one of my favorites, especially for brides. I love Tarte blushes. They are very, very long wearing, and I like that they're mostly matte so that I can add my own kind of highlight on top of it. I'm gonna go in with this kind of light baby pink. I think it's called Surreal. And I'm just going to apply it right onto the apples of the cheeks. Next for highlighter, I'm going to go in with one of my favorite highlighters at the moment, the Benefit Cheek Leader palette. And I'm going to use the shade Cookie right here. It's just like a really nice kind of champagne-y, icy kind of highlight that I think looks so pretty on brides. I'm also bringing it kind of far down onto my cheeks, which I don't usually do, but I think for photos, it just really looks beautiful, especially kind of from like front on photos. So just kind of bringing it down a bit further than usual and kind of up a little higher than usual as well. And then bringing it on the tip of my nose. And then just slightly down the center of my nose as well. I'm also going to take a little bit onto my brow bone. Since the look we have going on is mostly matte, I do want to add just a little bit of something to this look. Okay, so we're almost at the end. Next, I'm just going to finish my lower lash line a little bit. I think I want to keep this look pretty bright and open. I don't want to close off my eyes too much. So to do that, I'm going to use the Benefit High Brow as a waterline eyeliner. This is just like a really nice kind of like pale pink color, and it will just really help brighten up my under eye and just make my eyes look a bit more open and awake. So it is looking nice and bright and open, but I do want to bring a little bit of like smoke and sultry to this look. So I'm just going to smoke out my lower lash line just a touch. And I'm going to go in first with that same Birch shade from the Sultry palette. Next, I'm going to go in with that Rustic shade from the Soft Glam palette. And I'm just going to take it on a really kind of tight brush and really just focus it on the lower lash line. So just really getting in there and hugging that lower lash line. Okay, and last but not least, it is time for lips. 5 years ago on my wedding, I used the palest lipstick I could find. I think it was Marc Jacobs Strange Magic, and it was honestly so nude. I do still love the color, but I think on its own, it was just a little bit too pale. It kind of just washed me out a little bit, and I think on your big day, you should have like a little bit of color and just like a little bit of something to you. So I'm going to go in with MAC Whirl Lip Liner, and I'm just going to use this to completely outline my lips and fill them in just a little bit. For long wearing lips, I really like to go in and completely fill in the lips. Then I find once your lipstick wears off, at least you have some kind of color left underneath. So now that I have some kind of color to my lips, I'm going to go in and lighten it up just a little bit because I like something a bit more pinky and nudie, but I find that having just some kind of deeper color on my lips really makes them stand out a bit more and helps my color last throughout the day. I'm gonna go in with the NYX Pinup Pout Silk Lipstick. It's just a really nice kind of pinky nude pale kind of shade, and I'm just going to apply it right in the center of my lips. And then I'm gonna go in and top that off with the Fenty Beauty lip gloss in the shade Fuzzy. And then last but not least, you always want to make sure you set your makeup with some kind of setting spray. I, at the moment, am liking the Rimmel Stay Matte Setting Spray. Alright everyone, so there is the final look. I hope you guys like it. I am absolutely in love with the way it turned out. I think that this is such a beautiful bride look. I hope you guys all liked this video, and if you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. And now it is time for me to go celebrate this special day with my hubby. See you in the next one. Bye guys!